What's going on, my friends? We are in a very unique video today. Do you guys like my new office setup? Urza, what do you think? I've changed things up a bit.
It stinks, Cubs.
I am still on the road. Don't worry, my friends. I am social distancing as much as I possibly can. I even got Lysol wipes here with me right now, a Kroger brand Lysol disinfect. These were the only wipes I could find. So anyway, we got 3 subjects to do. We are dead committed to getting you guys rogue actions every single Monday, even if it means that you are dealing with AirPods quality audio. While I am on the road. We talked about, Urza, remind us what we talked about in your video. Go check his video out if you haven't already.
So we talked about COVID-19 and things that the CG can do for the player base, goodwill. We talked about the ships missing from the game right now and what you'd want to see in a ship raid. And we talked about, have you lost that loving feeling with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
Whoa, that loving feeling.
So I'm now going to turn it over to Cubs, and we're going to talk about the meme of the week right here. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, man, you love the meme of the week. All right, this is what we need, guys. We need guns. Lots of stun guns.
Is there anything more true than that, man?
Dude, it's like the new Carbonti. Remember for a while there, it was like Carbontis were the what you needed so much of?
Stun guns stun cuffs at first, and then Carbonti, and then stun guns.
Stun cuffs for a while, yep. Now, yeah, stun guns are the eternal grind, man. Everybody freaking needs these things. This hit me really funny. It's a simple meme. It's an old format with the text. It's very simple, probably put it together in 3 seconds. So effort is 0. But quality in terms of how much it made me laugh is pretty high on this one. So I don't know why this hasn't been memed yet. Really.
Did our guy Riff Raff take the week off?
He must. I didn't see any Riff Raff memes. So Riff Raff, we're calling you out. We want you to be on Rogue Actions next week. All right, buddy, you're slacking.
I've got a meme lord on my channel, Mad Doggy. He's a meme animal. So we're calling both those guys out. Step your game up, guys.
Come on, guys. Yeah, this is a good meme, but we can do better usually. We could do better than this. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about Kylo Ren, Galactic Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which, by the way, I don't know why that name is a spoiler, and I also don't know why Rey is a spoiler. Neither are spoilers. But these kits were dropped while I was driving, and I had my wife read them to me because I was driving in the car. And she's like, what am I even talking about? And my first reaction as she was reading through these, especially as she read through Kylo Ren's kit, because that one came second, was Kylo got completely shafted. And this is something that really, now we'll have to wait and see what these guys look like when they actually hit, because it could just be that the text isn't translating to how they're actually going to be. But my assumption as they roll out the Galactic Legends, what the requirements are and how they're doing this event, is that these characters will be very equally powered, and that if you chose to go all in on Kylo or all in on Rey, you wouldn't be penalized for picking the wrong person. But after reading these kits, Urza, do you feel like anybody going through for Kylo right now is screwed right now if they're only going for Kylo and not Rey?
Well, Cubs, before we get into that thing, I just want to let you know I hit the wrong button, and we are streaming this live right now.
Are you serious?
I did the classic thing. I just realized I looked at we are live streaming right now, but you've been money, man. You've been money. So I will immediately take this stream down. So if you guys are watching, you're seeing a little sneak peek of me and Cubs behind the scenes.
Okay, so are we gonna keep going? We're gonna
keep rolling. We're gonna keep rolling. So this is a little bonus for the Unite Owls.
Everyone in the hall who's watching, you're gonna come watch my videos still, right?
Yes. We'll make sure. I'm gonna take it down immediately. So
it's fine. Let's talk about Kylo. So is Kylo shafted?
I think he got a little shaft, dude. I went and looked at the kits, and it looks very problematic. It looks like Rey got all the offense here. She got crazy things like critical heat immunity spam. She's got an insane kind of heal. What is it? Heal. Hellsteel.
Yeah.
And then she's got
Hellsteel. No cooldowns.
No cooldowns. So, I mean, she could very well just put a paper character out there and go right into her AoE, which is like 300k in damage in an AoE. It's crazy, man. So, I don't know. And I look at Siphon. Siphon looks like a cool ability from Kylo. It's almost like he steals the stats from the opposition, and then he gets those stats. It didn't really specify which stats he steals, so I think it's just a random type thing. But that could be cool in raids, and that could be cool for like the long game. So if you're going into it, maybe down the road, there's some sort of super defensive team like we saw with Jedi Knight Revan, where if he's constantly stealing stats, maybe it's going to really just work that team down real quick. So there is hope for Kylo. We just don't know with Mastery, and we don't know with Siphon.
He looks great. He still looks great. It's just next to Rey. I mean, to me, reading these kits, there's a very clear answer on who I want to farm.
Right. I mean, which one are you working on right now? Because I'm very much with Rey right now.
I was working on Kylo.
And yeah. Well,
I'm, as a non-spender, it's like, well, crap. What do I do with it? Like, I don't know. I really want Rey. Kylo, I mean, I like that take that you have there, and I think that's a fair take, that maybe this is meant to be a long game raid kind of character, territory battles kind of character. But even then, maybe he's meant for territory battles or something like that. I don't want to farm this long for a territory battles character, for one. And if I'm going to, I want it to be for light side territory battles where I actually have need for characters like this. And so now maybe when we actually see his damage and everything, maybe it's going to be a lot more balanced, because that's the thing, is we're reading words right now. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't really need to see how this character is functioning to know that Rey has an insta defeat plus AoE on her first freaking turn.
Yeah, it's wild, man. And there's just funny things about Rey's kits. Actually, both kits got this. Where there's one thing I want to read here, dude. This unit has 10% max health and max protection per relic amplifier level.
Yeah.
And the damage received is decreased by 30%. We confirmed it's a flat 30% on my channel. But this line makes me think that there's more relics coming in the future.
Yes. Yep.
I mean,
and we've kind of known that, right? I mean, they've basically told us that's what they plan to do, but they've shelved it. For now, they answered in a Q&A that they don't plan on increasing that. But yeah, having that built into these kits, implied at least, kind of makes me antsy. Really antsy.
Yes. Okay. And the last thing I want to touch on here before this is your video, but Heir to the Empire,
your stream now.
Yeah, my stream. Heir to the Empire, ultimate ability, 10 ultimate ability and material mats. How long do we think that's going to take to get 10 of these mats? Did they ever clarify how long that process is going to take?
I personally haven't seen, but I have a feeling that it's going to be slow. And it's kind of like they heard the call on, we don't like these 5-star unlock characters where now we have to take our our get currency and farm the rest of the shards so we can make the character usable, right? And so is this just the same thing where now you've got the character but you don't have their ultimate ability? You've got to get those extra abilities so that you can unlock that. So I don't know.
So
I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But 10, I'm guessing you get one at a time. That's my guess. One at a time. So at least however long it takes to do that 10 times. And there's still a lot of questions on exactly how long that's going to be. So I don't know, but I think it's going to probably be a slow grind.
So another last point on this ultimate charge, this ability here, she gains 6% ultimate charge at the start of every character's turn. I think we averaged it out. It was like between 15 and 17 turns would take place before this ability goes off, which you assume it's like an inverted type, a Sky Guy ability where she takes a knee and then she takes 0 damage, I believe. She enters a defensive stance. Light side allies are damage reduced to 1. So it's kind of like an inverted Sky Guy type thing. And so you basically have 15 to 17 turns to get this chick down. And if she gets loose, I mean, you basically assume it's game over at that point with an ultimate going off. So lots to learn.
And you're
here.
not going to be able to, so it kind of bleeds into the next subject, which is, what are the Galactic Legends counters going to be? And for me, I mean, you said something. I watched your epic rant when I was in the car, and I was like, all right, I got to see what somebody's saying about this. And I saw you were streaming, so I tuned in while I was driving. I think I even had my wife comment a few things, by the way. But I heard you said at the very beginning, as long as it always looks bad. It always looks bad. But as long as there is a free to play counter, it's going to be okay. And those words spoke peace to my heart. And so let's think about this a little bit, Urza. What do you think could possibly counter this? It felt like that when we watched the kit reveal for Sky Guy, for example, it felt like nothing's going to counter this. But then when he actually hits, I mean, oh my gosh, how many things counter Sky Guy? And so I'm optimistic this will be similar. Have you thought this through? Have you thought through
Yes.
what might be able to counter this?
I'm looking at CLS again, Cubs, and maybe we get a new Rebel that makes it even better. I'm looking at CLS again because Han
I was going to say the same thing.
Solo. Han Solo, as far as I can see, he's going to do work here. He'll be able to stun somebody, and you've got 3PO in that lineup. The only thing that kind of worries me here is the reduced health damage that Rey is going to take from things like max health Chewie attack. We know
and takes Malik out of the picture too.
Yep.
For being effective, and she's also immune to stun. Did you check that?
Oh, she is immune to stun.
Yeah, it's in her unique, unique to Galactic Legend. Immune. It says, let's see. This unit takes reduced damage from percent health damage effects and massive damage effects. They take massive damage from destroy effects, excludes raid bosses, and are immune to stun effects. And so I think that just applies to Rey at least. So you can get a stun out there to whoever's the biggest threat, but you're not going to be able to slow down that initial insta kill.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't ignore taunt, right?
As far as I know, she does not.
You're going to have to, I guess the part of the counter is going to be making sure you dictate maybe Old Ben bomb. Maybe you want Old Ben in there, try to get him a turn as soon as possible so that Rey defeats him at first. I don't know.
Oh, well, we just don't know, guys. I just think high offense is going to be the key, as we saw with Sky Guy, just slamming that offense into Sky Guy, and it gets him down. I got to imagine that's going to be the key here because there's just too many things built into this kit that are going to negate characters like Malik, things like that.
Yeah, it's countering a lot, and so it'll and a lot of it also will matter. Like, what's your speed going to be like? Maybe I would expect. Now, maybe I'm unreasonable here. Let me know in the comments. But maybe she's going to be a slow character. I feel like this character should be slow, don't you? I mean, she on her first turn, she can basically insta defeat whoever she wants, unless somebody is taunting. And so she's got to at least be slow, don't you think?
I would think so, man. And part of that looks like her leadership does grant speed, though, 30 speed. So maybe that's a way of artificially throttling her speed. She does grant speed, 30% max health, and 40% mastery. We don't know what mastery does. But maybe, to your point, grants 30 speed to all light side allies, and that includes herself. So maybe that's an artificial way.
Here's another question. How about Sky Guy as a counter? So Anakin, she's dealing massive damage. She's not insta-defeating like Nihilus, right? And so would not Anakin, who's taunting, be immune to dying from that massive damage times three?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Maybe Sky Guy is the counter to this. And maybe it's not the most efficient thing possible, but he can throw some offense out there. Maybe we see a new clone. Maybe we see Bad Batch come out. Maybe we see something like that. Just like small additions. And here's the thing, Cubs. With CLS and Sky Guy, it could just be one addition. And then we saw it with Malik, right? When DR came out, DR was good, but he wasn't totally busted. And they were like, no, right, we're going to take it over the edge with Malik. So maybe it's the same kind of deal where they throw just a marquee character out there for Rebels or for Sky Guy, and it takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it takes the next level. Well, as long as, so to me, I read these kits and I kind of have this knee-jerk reaction of, oh my gosh, way overpowered. They're breaking the game, all this stuff. But I think really kind of what I'm coaching myself through, because that's how I want to react to this as an emotional gamer, because we're all emotional gamers. There, like you said, there's a very good chance there's going to be some kind of counter to this. And so that actually made me feel pretty optimistic that General Skywalker could be the best solution to this, because I think what a lot of it is going to come down to is how can you survive at the beginning of this battle? Because if you go instantly to a 4-on-5 matchup, I mean, even if you're going against a team that's worse than you, you're probably going to lose that if you lose somebody that early in the match. And so that may be the best solution to this. Or there's going to be some new character has an insta taunt and is tanky enough to withstand massive damage times 3, which eventually, I mean, massive damage seemed like that's always going to be an instant defeat, but now it's not. So maybe eventually that will be the case. I don't know.
Yeah, just a little bit of history here, guys. Every meta
Yeah.
we've seen, Wigs, Speed AoE, Maul, every meta, CLS, I would say Jedi Knight Revan was the toughest one where we didn't really have that counter right out of the gate, but everything else has pretty much seen a counter that's been pretty efficient. So you got to believe that hopefully it's just not the other Galactic Legend being the counter here. Hopefully something free to play friendly. And I just love when our community figures stuff out like that. So.
Theory crafters, we're calling you guys. We're theory crafting team assemble.
Let's go.
We're gonna need to figure this out. But yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Also, I wanted to highlight one thing, kind of going back to that last subject we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me that when we talked about Galactic Legend counters, we spent the whole time figuring out how to beat Rey, because Rey seems to be the real threat here. I don't feel as threatened by Kylo. So.
Well,
Kylo's
got cooldowns. That's an important thing to note.
Does this bother you? It just bothers me that it seems that they made Rey so much better. The cooldowns. She has no cooldowns. Kylo's got cool. I mean, why can't the whole no cooldowns thing at least be a Galactic Legends thing?
Well, here's the sneaky big brain commentary around that. We've seen light side, dark side meta flip flop. Sky Guy was the last meta, so you would assume that it would be dark side. And a first order meta, which we've never seen a first order meta.
Yeah, and we've seen a resistance meta. So I don't know. What if it just looks like Rey? What if they're trolling us? What if they're like, we're gonna make it look like Rey's the best, but Kylo ends up being way better?
Yeah, like Siphon is just nuts. I mean, that could be it. We just don't know what Siphon does.
It could be.
Yeah.
We could just be overreacting to text, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm gonna be honest, we can overreact. Yeah. You and me both.
Yeah. Guys, I want to apologize to Cubs. I'm taking this live stream down, so if you've donated, I'm sorry if I missed your donation. We are just doing this on the fly. But I will say, you better, Hall, you better go watch Cubs' video tomorrow, and I'll know, because you better leave a comment in his video saying, yo, I watched the live stream.
I will know.
I will know. Each and every one of you.
All right. Hashtag Urza will know. Okay, everyone, make sure you wash your hands, social distancing, all of that stuff I think is very, very important. I'm going home right now to go into isolation with my family, and I will make a lot of videos for you guys. So let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comments below. And Urza, the obligatory, do you have anything to say? You've already spoken to the Hall, because I guess the Hall got a sneak peek to this, but anything you want to say to the Cubs fan before we end the video?
No, man, I just wanted to get home safely, man. We'll make some more videos.
All right. Yep. Are you completely home now, I'm guessing?
Yeah, we're on lockdown. The family's been home for a week. We're getting a little stir crazy over here, I will tell you.
Yeah. We're about to 100% lockdown. So, all right. Well, we'll make a lot more videos. So, all right, everyone, thanks again for joining me for the video. And I don't have my outro with me. So, Urza, do your best Han Shot First impersonation. Do the Greedo. Go, Uda mucho solo, or whatever he says.
Eat you thought so long. And then
over my dead body.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
See you guys.